Good morning, friend. It is currently about 7 in the morning, and I get asked all the time how I am able to work full time and also have a homestead, keep everything moving, keep the animals going, and all of that. So I thought it would be fun to take you along with me on a normal work day and show you what this looks like for me. Now, I traditionally start my mornings. I will get a good amount of things done and set for the house before my day starts. Then I will just do my work day and then I will continue on. Now, I am blessed enough to work from home, so I have a few less obstacles, but I have also worked in an office and kind of had the same lifestyle going, so I know what it takes in order to do both. Now, the first thing that I think is so important is just prep. Making sure that before the day starts, before the workday starts, I have done everything I need to kind of clear my mind and make sure that I can be successful. I know a lot of times it can be easy to get distracted or think of, oh my gosh, I need to get the laundry in. All of those things I get done before the workday starts. That way I can focus on my workday, I can commit myself 100% to that day, and then I can go pick up on the things that I need to do after. So, first thing I need to do is I'm gonna have a little bit of coffee and I am going to get my breakfast going. I like to keep breakfast very, very simple. So we're gonna get breakfast going. I think I wanna get some laundry in. We did take the goats out last night, all day actually, on a hike. We went fly fishing and brought them down with us. They packed in a lunch for us. So we checked on the goats and the chickens last night. I think around like 8 o'clock is when we left them off. So they are fine. They don't need me to go out there until this evening. So luckily we have the chickens automated. So their door will go up in the morning and they are fine. They have food and water out there because I left it out there for them last night. So they're fine. They free range all day long. So they will be just fine. The goats don't need my attention. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this morning started. I did already feed the dogs just to keep their routine going. So Arrow had some freeze-dried meat, water, eggs, and a banana, and Moose had his puppy food because Moose is not 1 yet. We will keep him on his puppy food until he hits 1, and then at that point we feed him everything that Arrow eats. So, all right, let's get going on breakfast and a few of the morning chores before this day gets going. All right, so for breakfast, like I said, I like to keep it very simple. So I am going to do some toast and an egg. So here I just have some Kerrygold butter. Throw a little bit of that into the pan. We'll let that melt down for just a minute. All right, my pan is hot, so I'm just going to add in 1 egg onto this butter, and then I have a half of a blueberry bagel. I'm gonna run that around in some of the butter and we're just gonna let that toast up. And I like to just add a little bit of pepper, and then I will add some salt right at the end. Okay, I have found one of the easiest ways to actually cook an egg is to just put it in the pan. And then about halfway through, so at this point, I would add some water into this and stick a lid on it. But because I am also toasting my bread, that just doesn't work. So every morning I say a little 1, 2, 3, flip. Perfect. And we will flip the egg and I will add salt now, just a little bit. And I'm also going to pepper this side as well, and then I'm just going to cook my egg to how I like it. I like it just a little bit runny but not super runny, and we're going to continue to toast our bagel. All right, here is my little breakfast sandwich. And then my favorite hot sauce in the entire world is this Marie Sharp's. I can link it down below. When we went to Belize for our honeymoon, they had this on all of the tables, literally, and we loved it. It's good on anything and everything. So it's pretty spicy, but not crazy spicy. And it still has like a lot of texture in it. I don't know, it's really good. But here is my breakfast and my coffee. So honestly, I just kind of peck away at this as I do things. So next, what I'm gonna do is go get the laundry in. Then we're gonna unload the dishwasher, get that reloaded, And then I think we're pretty much good to go. Then I will head into work, get my water ready, head into work, and then, yeah, we'll get going with the rest of our day. Welcome to my laundry room. Basically what I do is I just probably every other day or every few days, we'll just put a load in the morning. And then if I get a little break, I will come switch it into the dryer. The dryer's empty, so it's a really quick little switch. If not, then that's no problem. I will just switch it once I am done with work for the day. So it's pretty simple. I like to just make sure it's going. That way I'm ready to go come this evening, and then I can quickly just get the laundry dried, hang it up, get it upstairs. It's not a problem. All right, the clothes are in the washer. That machine is going. Let's jump upstairs and get the dishwasher unloaded and reloaded. All right, so I ran this last night. So I just need to get it emptied. All right, so dishwasher is unloaded. I just have a couple of dishes now that I need to get loaded into the dishwasher. And one thing that I was taught growing up that's kind of stuck with me ever since into my adult life is I was always taught to, rather than picking something up and like throwing it in the sink and dealing with it later and then putting it in the dishwasher, it's easier if I just deal with it once. So if I have a dirty plate from my lunch, for example, rather than quickly just chucking it in the sink, I would rather put it into the dishwasher right away. That way I don't have like a mountain of dishes in the sink. That is one thing you will never see at my house is a mountain of dishes, and that's because it drives me absolutely nuts. So I really try to live by that policy of if I have something and I just used this pan, I'm gonna wash this pan right now and let it dry because I have 20 minutes before I need to get to work. So I'm just gonna get this done. That way I don't have to pick it up twice. So if I put it in the sink and then I come back to it again later, I then had to pick it up twice to wash it, whereas I could just wash it and be done with it. So those are kind of the things that I try to implement in my life. Because things tend to get very busy and crazy, it's easier for me to just deal with something once and move on with it rather than just kind of setting it off and saying, oh, I'll deal with it later or whatever. That is one of my tips and tricks of being productive, but also it's just saving me time. I don't have to deal with the same thing twice. I just move on. So I always have my dishwasher unloaded and I always just put the dishes straight in rather than like chucking them into the sink, for example. So that's all of the dishes I had in the house. Dishes are done. I have about 20 minutes. So we are going to go check on my little plant starts and get their grow lights turned on for the day. We'll give them a little bit of water and then I will probably just get going to work. That's pretty much everything I wanted to get done this morning. My bed is made, room is picked up, bathroom is picked up. I like to just make sure that my space is clean before I get going on the day. So those things are done. So we can jump into work a little bit early. All right, here are our little plant babies for now. I'm going to turn on their light and then I like to just check them. They are looking a little bit dry. So we'll just go ahead and put some water in the bottom of each of these. And the reason I have these on the lowest is because as I go up, that's how far the grow lights are. So I start all my seeds on the bottom, then the grow lights are really close. Then I will move them up. As you can see, these are starting to get a little bit tall, so they'll move up to the next level and so on and so forth. That way I don't have to keep, changing everything. All right. There's that. Then I just have this fan. Turn that on and they are done. Plants are all watered. There's one last thing I need to do before I start working, and that is get my meat laid out for whatever we want to have for dinner tonight. I am between, this is a very large range of things. I am between tacos, pad thai, gyros, and I think that's it. Let me look. Okay. I'm between pad thai, tacos, gyros, and chicken marsala. All I do is I just keep a running list of things that I think sound good on my phone. So I just have my notes and I just keep a list. So whenever I can't think of something, I just refer back to that list and I'm like, great, I'm feeling pad thai tonight. Let's make it. So, I'm gonna say tacos or gyros. Do I want fish tacos or beef tacos or elk tacos? So many choices. You know what? We're gonna go pad thai. I haven't had pad thai in forever. I know, I was thinking tacos or gyros. We're gonna go with pad thai. I'm gonna also show you an easy hack that I have for my pad thai. So yeah, stick around. I'm gonna go lay out some beef, elk. That is Sam's favorite kind of pad thai. So let's go grab that meat and then we'll get going for the day. Hi. Hello. Hi. Okay, I was out here getting meat and these little kitten cats of ours let me know they needed some food, so I'm gonna get their food refilled. Do you want a piece? If you're new here, this little cat right here, this is Bullet, and the black one is Cowgirl. They are our barn cats. They're hilarious. They act like they haven't had food in years. They had food last night, so they're pretty funny. All right, let's get them fed and then we'll grab some meat. Hi, this big boy, this is Bullet. Hi, buddy. All right, we're gonna go with antelope for dinner. All right, friend, it is 12:11 and I am hungry for lunch. So all I have here is just some leftovers. And this is honestly what I do for lunch every single day. I have leftovers and I keep these size container leftovers in my freezer as well. Let me show you. So here I have some frozen soup. I always have leftovers of some sort in my freezer, if not my refrigerator. This was our dinner last night? No, 2 nights ago. We just had some moose brats and sweet potatoes, and then I'll put some sauerkraut and ketchup on top of the brat. And I just like the sweet potatoes as is. So I'm gonna warm this up. I'm just going to eat this while I work. That's what I always do. But I just am gonna throw this in the microwave. And while this is microwaving, let's jump downstairs and get our laundry transferred so that tonight, once work is over, I can get all of the laundry put away. All right, welcome back to my laundry room. And I hope this is just a reminder that not everything has to be perfectly aesthetic in your life. My laundry room is not ideal, it's not beautiful, but it works and I'm blessed to have laundry. I know there's so many people that live off of the grid, for example, that don't have laundry. So I feel just blessed to have a laundry machine. So I'm just gonna get this all transferred over and we'll be done for this little chore. All right, so I need to head into town because it's the afternoon now, almost early evening. I have to get my car, there's a few software updates that they need to do to my truck today. So I need to head into town for that, but I am feeling a little bit hungry and I know that if I go into town hungry, I will probably stop and get something that I don't need. That's not great for me. So I like to bring my own water and snacks into town with me when I go. And that's just kind of a way of making sure that I am continuing to eat healthy, put the foods in my body that I want, versus having to default onto something because I got too hungry and I don't want to be hangry. So I am making a quick smoothie and I heard someone who was it? I think it was, her name's like, I think Jessica Spires. I follow her on YouTube. And she makes yummy looking smoothies literally every single day. And she refers to it as her insurance policy, which I thought was super, super interesting because it's her way of making sure that she is getting fruits and vegetables into her daily diet and getting all of those vitamins needed into her daily diet without having to, you know, really try very hard. And when I heard her say that, I thought that is so smart. I love making smoothies, but I've never thought of it in that sense of you're getting so many vegetables and vitamins in, and just this can really be the world's easiest insurance policy on your health and making sure that you are getting everything that you need, make sure you're covered with your vitamins and whatnot. So I'm gonna make a quick smoothie that I can just drink on my way. I can bring it in my cup and drink it at the dealership. It won't be weird or anything like maybe eating a sandwich would be. So let's get this blended up, put in our tumbler, and we will hit the road. And like I was talking about earlier this morning, just deal with everything once. So I am going to get my lid on my smoothie so I don't spill that. We'll throw a straw in this before I go, but I have like 2 minutes before I need to leave. So I'm going to choose to use that time to clean this. And all that is just, I just put soapy water in here, warm water and soap. I let it blend and wash itself. Okay, it is beautiful out today. Holy moly, I haven't really been outside yet, but we are gonna go into town. I brought a cooler with me. If I'm going into town, I am going to get a lot of things done. I'm not just gonna go for one thing. So I've got a grocery pickup. I will pick that up on my way. We'll go get the car serviced. I need to go grab some grout for a project. And that is it. So, along for the day. Let's keep this productivity going and let's get out of here. So what I like to do when I'm gonna be in town for a while is I will just put everything that needs to stay frozen or cold in the cooler. All right, so that is done. All of the cold things that need to stay cold will just stay in that cooler, and then honestly things stay pretty frozen too. It's a pretty good system. So now I'm going to run off to get my car serviced, and then we will maybe get some grout and head back in. The reason I got groceries beforehand is because I want to make sure that I have enough time to get home and get dinner made. So if I did my grocery pickup later, it would push us back about a half an hour for dinner. So this is just the way I could do it easiest to make sure I'm able to get dinner on the table in time as well. So enough chit-chatting, let's head to get this car serviced. All right, so we got here a little early, so I'm just gonna run into Menards and then I will jump over to get my car serviced. All right, friend, I am home, and you can probably tell by my hair, it is a bit of a windy one out there, but I got all of the groceries brought in. Everything I needed to get done in town is done, so that is super exciting. I'm gonna take you through a quick grocery haul, and then we will get started on making dinner. So here's just a quick look at everything we got. I just got some produce, just oranges, tomatoes, avocados, cilantro, a red bell pepper for our pad thai, lettuce, and sweet potatoes, and then I got some opal apples as well. These are my absolute favorite apples. Then for dairy, we got some cream cheese, a block of regular cheese, 2 plain Greek yogurts, sour cream, some coffee creamer, and some lactose-free milk. Here is some of the bread we got. I just got some pitas for our gyros, some naan for our buttered chicken, and then some raw tortillas. These are some of my quick little hacks where I just go nice and easy there. Then this is what I like to use for our pad thai. And actually, let me grab it real quick. And a lot of you asked what I make my tiki masala out of, or tikka masala, and this is what I use. I have found that it is so good. The ingredients are clean. So I just feel like for a cheap little simple meal where I don't have to make everything from scratch, this turns out so good. I will say this is a little bit spicy, so if you have kids, it might be too spicy, but we love this. And then this is what we use for our pad thai. It's just one of those things when you work full time and also live this lifestyle, you got to find shortcuts where you can. So we're gonna have pad thai for dinner, and then so random, I was feeling like a Rice Krispie treat, but then I thought, how good would a Cocoa Pebble Rice Krispie treat be? So I impulse bought those things. And then just in the back, we have our, in case of emergency, frozen pizza and a few frozen pork wontons. So at this point, my meat was still just a little bit frozen, so I decided to take it out of the package and thinly slice it for our pad thai. I find it's easiest to thinly slice meat when it's still just a little bit frozen. And here I'm just checking to make sure that I am cutting against the grain. That is how you will always get those tender pieces of meat. So I am just going through getting that chopped nice and thin, and then I'm going to marinate it in some of this Japanese barbecue sauce and a little bit of salt just for about 10 minutes, 20 minutes or so while I go out and feed the animals. I find that this really just helps add a little bit of flavor. It helps defrost the meat the rest of the way, and it is my favorite way of cooking meat really, really quickly without having to pull out a ton of ingredients for a marinade. So while my meat is marinating, I am going to go out and feed the chickens and the goats in the barn. Here you can see just how codependent our animals are. They are hilarious. They'll always join me for the walk down to the barn, but it's really, really simple and really quick to feed these animals. We just go inside to the barn and get it done. All right, so getting the animals done is pretty simple. All I really need to do is feed them and water them. They have enough mineral. Everyone's pretty much good there. They just need food and water. So you can see here we have all of our alfalfa. This comes off of our property. So we farm all this, and then I just need to throw some alfalfa in for them, get the chickens fed, and also get the goats watered. So get everyone fed and watered. We'll collect the eggs, go out and feed the chickens, and we'll be done. This normally, I mean, if it's really bad weather, I can get this done in 5 minutes. Normally I like to go a little bit slower because I enjoy being out here. I want to make sure that they're all happy and healthy. This is our time to hang out with them, make sure everyone's acting normal. So I don't know, I'll probably take my time today, but normally this can go really, really fast. So first things first, I just take the pitchfork and I am going to load their feeders up with alfalfa. We also have a freestanding feeder that holds entire bale, but this is the other one that we use because goats can get a little bit mean when it comes to food and they'll kind of fight each other. We want to make sure that there's enough food sources for everyone. So this is what we use as our secondary feeder. And as you can see, it's really, really easy to just get it loaded in there. We have these hay feeders. I think they're from horses. And they work so well with goats. They are able to get every bit. They don't waste much. It is really, really nice. So if you're looking for a new hay feeder, I definitely recommend this one. Then once we get them all fed, you can see Boone here jumped out. He jumps over the door and is like a dog. He'll just come hang out. And then once we leave, he'll go back in. I think that's one thing that people don't realize about goats is they are totally like dogs. They are so funny. They all have their own personalities. They all love being around people. They are so fun. So here I am just refilling their water. They get 2 water buckets per day, and they also have a waterer outside. But while I was in there getting the water, I realized there were 2 rogue eggs that had been graciously laid in the goat run. It's funny because the goats are really careful with the eggs. They rarely break them. Our girls are really good about laying in their laying baskets, but every now and again they'll go a little wild and lay somewhere else. So I'm just going to put the water back onto the fence. When it's cold out, we'll put bird bath water heaters inside the water, but since it's so beautiful outside, that was not necessary on this day. Then I go ahead and take Cowgirl off of the lid of where the eggs are stored, and I am just going to grab the eggs. I wish I had a better process, but I honestly just put them in my pockets and pray that I don't forget about them and break them. I will say I have broken some eggs in my pockets before though. Then I'm going ahead and feeding them. The crazy part about these chickens is all of the black chickens are 9 years old at the youngest and are still laying. So I'm super impressed with them. They are awesome. You can see Bullet sneaking in here. He'll come join the chickens, and luckily everyone gets along really, really well. So we don't have any issues with any of our animals not getting along. All right, animals are taken care of. Let's head back up into the house and go get dinner made. I forgot while I was at Murdoch's today, I found this nice rubber mat, which is exactly what we need because things blow away out here or they get really dirty or whatever. So I found this, it just says welcome. I thought it was perfect, and you can literally just garden hose it off, and that's how you wash it. So it's not the most beautiful, but it's very, very practical. Okay, please don't judge my not beautiful refrigerator. So what I do to organize my eggs is I will start at the top, fill the top, then I'll move down to this level, then I'll move down to this level, and I'll work through them that way. So I've already gone through the top level, I've gone through this level, and now I'm going through this bottom level right now, and that's just how I store my eggs and keep track of which is the oldest and which is the newest, because we get so many eggs a day, it can be hard to keep track of which is the oldest. I hate having a ton of cartons in my refrigerator. So this is the method that I have found works best for us. We usually go through about 6 or 7 eggs a day. So I can go through almost one of these entire columns a day. So we just keep working through it. And then when I get too full, I can either freeze dry them, freeze them, or gift them. So I need to prep a few vegetables for this meal. First is going to be some red pepper. We don't need a ton. I want this to be very thinly sliced. And while I cut this up, I'm also gonna need an onion. Here's our garden onion. While I cut this up, I just wanted to chat about kind of what my inspiration is, or kind of how I'm able to manage doing the homesteading life along with working a full-time job. And for me, it's mostly discipline, honestly. It's just knowing what needs to get done. I highly recommend lists. I love a good list. And it's also just thinking about your why. I like to think back about when we were living in the city and we would dream about this life that we wanted to live, and now we're living it. And so I feel like if I'm not utilizing the day, or I'm looking at, a chore or a task as a burden, there are so many people that would want to be in my shoes, or that are working so hard to be able to live their dream life, that I can't take that for granted, and I never will. So for me, it's really just remembering my why. Why am I doing this? Why do I want to be here? Why do I continue, making a busy life for myself? And it really is just because that is when I feel my happiest. I feel my most fulfilled. And I am just so thankful for this life I live that I never, ever, ever want to take it for granted. So it really is a lot of discipline to just, even if I'm tired, animals still need to be fed. Even if I'm sick, again, animals still need to be fed. These things don't just stop. So I just try to remind myself of why I'm here and why I chose to do this life. That is really the biggest thing that allows me to work a full-time job, honestly, and homestead at the same time. We're all going to have a different why. We're all doing different things for different reasons, and that is totally fine. I just like to always remind myself of why I'm here and how much work it took to get here, and also what my end goals are. There are so many things that we still want to accomplish, so many projects that we have going. We're young, we're just getting started, and so for me, there's just, I don't know, I just think it's so cool to be living such a fulfilling lifestyle. And this is really just the lifestyle that I want to live. And I remind myself of that every single day when I'm down, when I don't feel like doing something. And that just honestly keeps me going. So I really encourage you to just think about what your why is, why you're doing the things you're doing, and why you wanted to do them in the first place. If you want to do this, just put your head down to it. Whatever we set our minds to, we can achieve. So I don't know. I hope this inspires you that yes, my days are busy. Yes, my days are full, but there's just, I don't know, it's just the most fulfilling lifestyle, and not every second of the day is work. So for the rest of the day, all I need to do is, I'm currently working on a painting project. I am painting our spare bedroom, and So I just want to get in there and I'm on the second coat right now. I want to get a little bit more progress made on that second coat, and I need to get my laundry done, and then that's it. So the rest of the evening, Sam and I can go on a walk when he gets home. We can go play with the animals. We can go on a hike. There's so many other things that we can do that it's just so important that we're making time for fun and not just making time for work. Yes, this lifestyle does include a lot of work and a lot of manual labor, but there's also a ton of time for fun. So just remember to do those things that make you happy. And I guarantee we will probably watch TV tonight. You know, we have our downtime, and I think that's the best way to make it sustainable. If you are just go, go, go 100% of the time, never stop, I think it gets very, very tiring very quickly. So we like to take breaks, give ourselves little things to look forward to, you know, after a long, busy day, whether that's, I don't know, our cheap frozen pizza that we picked up today or watching a TV episode. I also like to remind myself how in the dead of winter, how much I craved this and wanted to be able to go outside and do all of these activities that I'm able to do enjoyably now. So I just never want to take a day for granted. And you know, it's never too late to change and make life what you want it to be. All right, there's most of my chopping. I think I want to do an onion. I might just do chives on top. We're just gonna do chives on top. This is good to go. Let's get our meat going, our noodles boiling, and this dinner is gonna come together in 15 minutes. So I'm gonna turn this pan on just to warm up, and while that warms up, I'm gonna get the dishes put away from earlier today. I like to play a game anytime I'm waiting for like water to boil or a microwave to go or something like that. I like to play a game and see how much I can get done in that amount of time. So like a microwave, for example, I'll put something in for 2 minutes. I see how much I can get done in 2 minutes just cleaning tasks, because otherwise I'm just standing around waiting for something to happen. So I might as well be a little bit more productive. So I like to play games with myself, like how much can I get done in 2 minutes? It's kind of fun. Coffee is all set for tomorrow. So I am just going to cook our meat really, really quickly. This is almost a one-pan meal, except for we have to boil the pasta. So I'm just going to cook up the meat, and then once that is pretty much done cooking and seared off, then I'm going to add in a little bit of egg. We like to have a scrambled egg in our pad thai. This is totally optional, do whatever you want, but you can see here I'm just pushing over our meat. That teriyaki or Japanese barbecue sauce makes for such a yummy glaze. You can see that kind of caramelized coating it puts on the pan. It is so yummy. And then I am just going to add in my pad thai sauce. One thing I should mention is these sauces are $2 each. And I just get them at my Kroger store. So I think you can get them on Amazon, but I think they're very, very expensive. So definitely wait for them to go on sale if you want to try these at Kroger. For $2 is what we're able to get them for. So we just add in our sauce packet, give that a nice mix. And then I wanted it to be a little bit of a looser sauce, so I did not drain my noodles. I am just going to throw them in straight from the water, and that just helped kind of add a little bit more moisture into this, and it was perfect. We used a half a pack of noodles with 1 pack of the pad thai, and I felt like the sauce to noodle and meat ratio was perfect. Then we're just going to top it off with some carrots, bell pepper, a ton of cilantro because I love cilantro, some unsalted peanuts, a little bit of sriracha, and that was our dinner. This was so good. We had actually never had the pad thai sauce before, and it is definitely a keeper. Then I like to just get the dishes done straight after dinner so I don't have to think about it, and it's one less thing to do later in the evening time. All right, friends, so this is the room that I was repainting. I have the first layer of paint on, and as you can tell, the lighting is brutal. So it's dark outside now, so I am going to save this painting for another day because I don't think I am going to be able to do a really good job. There's just way too many shadows. I could bring in more lights, but this room is pretty small, so, and it's not urgent, so I'm just going to wait until we have the good natural lighting. I find that is just the easiest to paint with. So because we've had a quick change in direction, I am going to go and just pick up the house a little bit, do a nice little sweep, deep clean. Houses when you're living on a homestead get very dirty very quickly. Sam is currently making us Rice Krispie treats out of those cocoa pebbles, so we will enjoy some of that, and then I am going to call it a night. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I'm just gonna go sanitize everything, wipe down the counters. I oil my counter, that wood block that's the countertop. I'm going to oil that, and then just kind of sanitize the entire house, do a quick vacuum. It should take maybe 30 minutes and we will be done for the night. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was a little bit of a different style video, so please let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. I really appreciate you all being here, and I hope this was just encouraging that anyone can do the lifestyle. You just have to remember your why and always continue to push yourself and try to be better than the day you were before. I know it can seem exhausting, and when you throw kids into the mix, that can be a whole lot too. Right now it's just the two of us, so things are a little bit more simple, but it's fun, it's the stage of life that we're in, and we absolutely love it. So if you liked today's video, please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and sharing this with a friend that might also enjoy these types of videos. I appreciate you being here so much, and I will catch you in next week's video. Bye, friend.